In this short video, which is part of a series designed to highlight how ServiceNow customers can start to identify process improvement opportunities using the process mining evaluation projects that have been made available in every instance as of the Xanadu release. In the Yokohama release, we've added 2 additional use cases, one for HR case management and one for customer case management. In this session, we'll focus on customer case management as a use case. These focused projects are designed to give you examples of where the value of process mining specifically for customers using customer case workflows. Common focus areas include improving customer satisfaction, retention, as well as ensuring positive experiences. And process mining can point the way and provide evidence on where to improve. We'll focus on 3 different use cases to identify examples that align to those goals, including where AI agents and automation can be leveraged for cases that are closed in a very short amount of time, idle time, as well as cases that have been reassigned multiple times, exposing multi-hop inefficiencies. So where do we start? Well, first, we're going to log into your instance and look for our process mining workspace. We'll do that by coming to our Workspaces tab and searching for the process mining workspace. And we'll bring you to this workspace. And depending on your role, you may see 1 or up to 3 evaluation projects available to you. We're going to focus today on our case evaluation project specifically, which is looking at the last 7 days of cases that have been closed with a maximum of 3,600 records to analyze. We'll also look at 2 things that change in the lifecycle of these cases, both the state as well as the assignment group. Also, for these projects, they'll be in one of 2 states, either in new or they could also be in an available state. If it's in a new state, you can always come to the 3 dots right here, open this up, and hit Mine Project Sample. So let's dive into the use cases. Now that we've analyzed our evaluation project for customer case, we'll dive into the use case of understanding the impact of cases that have been reassigned more than once. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to click into our evaluation project. The first thing we will see in our summary insights is some analytics and metrics. We notice that we've analyzed 2,300 records. We also notice that the average closure time is 13 days, and even the fact that there are 1,100 unique routes to closure for those 2,300 records. This one statistic alone shows there's a lot of complexity in the way our cases are closed. We also see, as part of the project, our average time to completion over time, as well as distribution of records by time to completion. So good representation on how those records are being completed. As we scroll down, we also see a wealth of information around improvement opportunities. These are born out of both rule-based and pattern-based detectors to surface inefficiencies for your customer cases. We're not going to get into these in this session. We'll do that in a separate session. In this session, we'll focus specifically how to uncover and understand the impact of cases that have been reassigned at least once. We'll do that by moving over to the Analyst Workbench. Once we get to the workbench, we will see the discovered process map. This process map shows 2 different things that are changing over time, and that's included in the evaluation project. Those being the state of the case as it transitions from new all the way to closed, as well as the assignment groups. We also see out of the box typically 20% of the connections. And I mentioned earlier, there's 1,100 routes to closure. We're only seeing 20% of them in this representation. We can increase these connections to see more complexity as well. So if I bring this up to 55%, you will see a lot more complexity and routes to closure. And again, we're seeing that because we're seeing both assignment group changes as well as state changes, rework, ping-pong, all of those things that may not be beneficial to the way our cases that are closed and impacting our case resolution time as well as potential CSAT issues. So in this scenario, what we really care about is the reassignment of cases and the assignment groups. I also want to expose the fact that we can hone in and really filter on specific areas of our cases as well. We do that using filter breakdowns, and we included 4 in the evaluation project. Include channel, our intake, assignment group, priority, and category. Each one of these allows you to drill into a specific area of our customer cases, whether it be I want to look at just email intake, and perhaps I want to layer on specific assignment groups or even priority or category to allow me to build a view that I care about. A lot of flexibility in terms of how you want to focus in on a specific area. In this case, we're going to focus on specifically is the assignment groups. And what I'm going to do first is really focus in on that view, and we can do that right from here. I'm going to click in on that assignment group view. And again, this view will repaint very quickly and may take a few moments in your instance initially and as a background task. You can see that from our scheduled task right here. If I come to this, you open that up and you'll see scheduled tasks that are in progress and ultimately will complete. You will get a dialog box stating when that completion is done as well. So now that we're looking at the same 2,300 records, a different view, and just looking at how assignment groups are transitioning from start to finish. And right away, I noticed some interesting things that lead me to what we're doing today. I see cases that are taking longer to transition from one assignment group to another, and the fact that they're actually even happening as well. So if I come to, let's go to 60%, I notice a couple of things right away. I see lots of evidence of case transitions that are taking 2 days. 2 days. I see a bunch of 2 days here. That's a lot of time and a lot of transitions with multiple teams. So let's really hone in and filter on that view and start providing some evidence of maybe why that's happening and see if we can do better. We'll do that by using our advanced filters. And even though they're called advanced, they're super simple to use. We'll use specifically the transition filters. And we'll do that right now. So we'll open up our transition filters. And what we'll start with is our first state. And in this case, it's the assignment group and what it's going to start with. In this case, it's going to be, we'll say it's not empty. And we care about all occurrences. We want to make sure that that case was assigned to a group. Next, we'll say directly followed by the assignment group is again not empty. Again, we don't care who it's going to. All we care about the fact it's being reassigned to another and new group. And we'll hit apply. And again, same thing will apply here. This will run in the background. Typically, I pre-ran this to make sure we can do this quickly. This will take a few moments in your instance. And now we'll get to see out of the 2,300 records we started with, we now have 867. So we've identified 867 of our incidents have transitioned from one assignment group to at least one more. And again, we'll open up our connections to see more of some of the complexity to provide some evidence of where we have some gaps in time from our transitions as well. Where should we focus first? And right away, I see our IT support service desk level 1. There's 123 cases out of the 867 that are taking 2 days to get to IT support Americas. That's not good. It can't help our ability to close our cases in the SLA that we have. So let's dive into that a little bit more. And right from here, we can click into that transition and understand more about that transition and what's impacting it and what's causing it as well. So from here, we can see we have 123 unique cases, but we see 130. What does that mean? Well, that means we have some cases that are doing it repetitively. In fact, we have one that's done it 4 times. A lot of time there. And what's the real impact of this? Well, there's 8 months of package inefficiency in those 123 cases that are averaging 2 days of transition from that one assignment group to another. And as we scroll down, we can also see some great information in our histogram in terms of overall duration for all these 123 cases. Most of them, we can say 84 of them, are taking about a day. But guess what? We have others that are taking 2 days, 4 days, some as long as almost 2 weeks. And we can dive into each one of these and build a filtered view of these outliers that are taking a really long time as well. We can also investigate, and in an evaluation instance, you will have available to you two things: show records as well as filter on transactions. In fully licensed environments, you also have other investigative tools that leverage machine learning, like analyzing the work notes. There's a wealth of unstructured data in work notes that could provide evidence of why these cases were reassigned to begin with. Requester intent, which analyzes the short description of the cases to provide clusters of what kind of cases these are. Maybe we can do better in terms of assigning these to the right team the first time, or even key contributing factors for root cause analysis to show maybe there's a commonality of what assignment groups this is happening to, or perhaps channel, or other indicators that provide evidence of maybe we can prevent this from happening or reducing it. So great ways of understanding it. But in this evaluation project, we're going to focus on the one tool we do have, which is showing the records. And even that is valuable. So building that view, all we have to do is click on this. And it will build that view again, typically in the background. We're doing this real time, and provide that list of records for you to examine. And even if we don't dive into each one of the incidents, we can very easily take a look at maybe some of the commonality we see in short description. We see issues with router. We see issue with loyalty service. Why aren't we routing these to the right team the first time, perhaps? Or maybe we should do better in terms of categorizing it and assigning the first time, and allowing our teams to resolve these on the first resolution and assignment, and empowering those teams to get this done either themselves or perhaps assigning it to the right team that resolved it the first time to begin with. And when I build this view, all these scheduled tasks, these are not meant to be persistent. However, you can build these to be persistent in your filter set. So one other little trick, which is a really helpful thing, is to allow you to build a filter set that is persistent and allow you to come back to a view you care about. So right from here, I can come build a filter and just save this view. And you can see I've done this before, where I've created this view, and all I have to do is save it, give it a name, and here are the things we built. And then you can come back and come to this view very, very quickly. Thank you for joining. We have 2 other sessions that are specifically aligned to customer case, one for idle time and one for understanding and surfacing automation opportunities for cases that take a very short amount of time. Thank you.